from the CBS Bay Area studios, this is KPIX 5 News.
Now on KPIX 5 News this morning, North Korea is turning heads and raising eyebrows. What was once a non-negotiable topic is now not only on the table, but a possible resolution.
And San Francisco Mayor Mark Farrell joins the roundtable with Phil Matier, how the mayor plans to combat homelessness in the city with just 1 month left in office. It's 6 o'clock on this Sunday, April 29th. Good morning. I'm Melissa Caen.
And I'm Devin Fehely. Breaking news this morning in Walnut Creek, where a stretch of northbound Interstate 680 was completely shut down because of a major accident. Neda Iranpour is there live with the latest developments. Good morning, Neda.
Good morning, Devin. Yes, just moments before our live shot, CHP did in fact open up all lanes of traffic, but this major East Bay freeway was shut down because of this fatal accident. We do have video of this scene, and you can tell from the looks of that vehicle, it was not a good one. It was a Volkswagen GTI that got in a wreck just after 4 o'clock this morning, and now that vehicle just smashed metal. Unfortunately for the driver, a male driver did not survive. The body was taken away by the coroner, and that Volkswagen also towed away just moments ago. Literally about 10 minutes ago, a tow truck was able to remove that vehicle here. CHP had to issue that SIG alert after 4 this morning and block all northbound lanes of 680 here at Olympic Boulevard in Walnut Creek for the past 2 hours while they were investigating and trying to clear up the mess that was left from that accident. So they, of course, had delays. People were being told to use alternative routes to get around this very busy area. But moments ago, again, they opened up Interstate 680 here northbound. So now traffic is flowing freely, as you can see here in our live shot. The scene has been cleared. But again, it was a fatal single vehicle accident at 4 o'clock this morning. Reporting live in Walnut Creek, I'm Neda Iranpour for KPIX 5.
And the office of North Korean leader Kim Jong-un says he will shut down the country's nuclear test sites next month and open the process to experts and journalists from South Korea and the U.S. Mike Pompeo met with Kim earlier this month before Pompeo was sworn in as U.S. Secretary of State, and he underscored the importance of denuclearization as well as proof.
We're committed to achieving permanent, verifiable, irreversible dismantling of North Koreans' weapons of mass destruction programs without delay. North Korean promises are good, but transparent, verifiable action is essential.
A meeting between Kim and President Trump is expected next month or early June.
For the second straight year, President Trump skipped the White House Correspondents' dinner. He instead opted for a campaign-style rally in Michigan where he roasted the press for its coverage of the recent summit between North and South Korea.
They were saying, what do you think President Trump had to do with it? I'll tell you what. Like, how about everything?
Some of the president's supporters say they don't blame him for skipping the annual event in Washington. Comedian Michelle Wolf hosted the star-studded event and started dishing out the insults right off the bat.
Here we are, the White House Correspondents' dinner. Like a porn star says when she's about to have sex with a Trump, let's get this over with.
The Stormy Daniels jokes didn't stop there. Wolf went on to say, "You can't shut me up unless you have Michael Cohen wire me $130,000.
Meanwhile, Vice President Mike Pence is waking up in Los Angeles today. Security was tight last night outside a Hollywood hotel where Pence is staying. Earlier in the day, he went to NASA's Jet Propulsion Lab in Pasadena. His visit comes a week before NASA's next mission to Mars. And as he was rolling in, he was met by dozens of protesters.
These people are climate change deniers. They pose a real danger to the environment itself.
Well, this afternoon, Pence will attend a political fundraiser in Malibu, and he's expected to check out the construction of the border wall tomorrow.
A weekend carnival in Morgan Hill has been canceled after several students clashed with police. It all started Friday evening at Britton Middle School. Officers say they were trying to arrest one student for giving a knife to another, when that student and 2 other kids attacked them. The police had to call in for reinforcements to stop the brawl. Now, yesterday, we saw the carnival rides being taken down after police and the school district decided to cancel the 2 remaining days. In total, 8 kids were arrested and booked into the Santa Clara County Juvenile Hall. Some of the officers involved suffered minor injuries.
And UC Berkeley is being sued by a neighborhood group that claims the school is not doing enough to alleviate the city's severe housing shortage. The group, called Save Berkeley's Neighborhood, filed suit on Friday. They say since 2005, the university has admitted an additional 8,000 students when they said they'd only admit an extra 1,600 students. The neighborhood group also claims that Cal committed to building 2,500 bedrooms, but they've only built less than 1,000, turning nearby properties into mini dorms.
This is the first time they've ever lived in the community, and what happens is that we end up being responsible for managing their transition to adulthood.
In a statement, UC Berkeley says the enrollment growth of the Berkeley campus is a very minor contributor to the explosive demand for housing in the East Bay. We have increased the number of students that we house as enrollment has grown.
Well, this morning, some people had to be rescued from a sailboat stranded in the waters off Pacifica. A passerby involved in the rescue says the people had been sailing for 11 hours trying to get to San Diego, but the motor ran out and the boat just couldn't get past the breakwater.
One guy jumped off the boat. He was fine. Then a lady jumped off and kind of landed on her face. So I ran into the surf line and then pulled her out. And then the other two people left, jumped off and with their dog, and that was it. Everyone seemed okay after that.
That Good Samaritan says it felt good, pretty good to be in the right place at the right time and be able to help. A driver is facing an attempted murder charge for dragging a CHP officer down a San Francisco freeway. Nicole Wade was also booked for DUI, child endangerment, and other charges after her arrest on Interstate 80 on Friday. The CHP says when an officer pulled her car over near 4th Street, Wade gave him a fake ID and then took off, dragging him about 1,000 feet. They say she sideswiped one car and rear-ended another before the officer was able to reach in, grab the wheel, and force the car into a concrete railing. That's when other officers pulled Wade out of the car and arrested her. They found out later that she had 3 outstanding warrants in Contra Costa County. The injured officer was treated at SF General and released. Well, this morning, many are remembering Burning Man founder Larry Harvey. He died yesterday in San Francisco, weeks after suffering a massive stroke. Harvey first launched Burning Man on Baker Beach back in 1986. That ignited the annual festival in the Nevada desert. It centered around 10 principles established by Harvey, including self-reliance and self-expression. He was 70 years old.
And the Walnut Creek Police Department is claiming success for one of its efforts to nab car burglars. As part of a sting operation last week, officers hid a GPS device inside of a purse left in a car. When the purse was stolen, the GPS was activated and police were dispatched to a location to catch the suspects. Walnut Creek police arrested Donnell Irvin, Jonathan Poole, and Marcus Collins and found the stolen purse.
What we want people to think is that if you steal something in Walnut Creek, it might have a GPS device in it. The cops might know exactly where you're at and come arrest you. I think that most law enforcement agencies, certainly within California, are looking to implement technology to help assist in crime fighting. I don't see any reason why this wouldn't help in other jurisdictions.
An increase in car burglaries in Walnut Creek forced the police department to take action.
Toyota is now sending faulty inverters on some of its Prius models to a Silicon Valley company. The inverters were part of a massive recall in 2014. And according to new documents obtained by the LA Times, the automaker told dealers to send them to a company in Menlo Park called Exponent. It's a product liability company that's known for analyzing accidents and failures. The defect can cause some Prius models to lose power while being driven.
And France's First Lady Brigitte Macron is giving us a glimpse of what Melania Trump is like away from the public eye. In an interview with the paper Le Monde, Macron opened up about a 3-day Washington visit with her husband, French President Emmanuel Macron. The First Lady said that Melania Trump is, quote, actually really fun. We have the same sense of humor and we laugh a lot together. She adds, she can't do anything. She can't even open a window at the White House. She can't go outside. She's much more constrained than I am. I go out every day in Paris. And the French First Lady also noted that Melania has, quote, a strong personality, but as someone who works hard to hide it. She also said that her stern and sometimes sad appearance in public is, quote, overinterpreted.
Meanwhile, Kanye West's new song is defending his support for President Trump. It's called Ye versus the People, and it debuted Friday on a Los Angeles radio station. The track features Kanye debating hip-hop star T.I., who has been a critic of the president. But some critics say Kanye's recent antics might be nothing more than a publicity stunt to plug his work.
And the suspected Golden State Killer is on suicide watch. The 72-year-old Joseph D'Angelo appeared frail and weak as he made his initial court appearance in Sacramento Friday. He's due back in court on May 14th. Investigators say DNA evidence links the former police officer to dozens of rapes and murders in the 70s and 80s. They also say he continued to terrorize some of his victims by phone.
The fact that he would call his victims years, in some cases afterwards, just to continuously torment them, underscores the type of person he is.
D'Angelo grew up in this quiet home in the Auburn Hills where he lived with his mother and stepfather. He later served in Vietnam, where he lost part of his ring finger when his ship came under attack. The battle scar became one of his distinguishing features when he returned and started work as a police officer. But none of his alleged victims ever noticed the injury. Police say that's because the Golden State Killer always wore gloves.
And a DNA match through a public genealogy site called GEDmatch is ultimately what led authorities to D'Angelo. Now, it's an open source site that allows people to upload their DNA profiles from other genealogical websites and then search the larger GEDmatch database for possible family members. Investigators said they had to dig deep into D'Angelo's family DNA to find a match before they could track that DNA back to the crime scene.
We literally went back to the great-great-great-grandfather with individuals that were born in the early part of the 1800s.
Now, the FBI is still searching D'Angelo's property in Citrus Heights for evidence, hoping to find so-called trophies or items that the East Area rapist reportedly took during his attacks. D'Angelo is a former police officer who left the position when he was caught stealing. But of course, DNA is the big story this week, and the groundbreaking police work that connected D'Angelo to the crime scene DNA. A lot of folks in this genealogy community are concerned that police are using DNA that was essentially uploaded to help search for family members, so within their own community, for outside sources, for police work. They're saying, hey, we didn't upload it for that. You shouldn't use it for that.
Well, let's go back to last night. I only got a minute here. One regular season game felt like a playoff game. A couple more felt like the real postseason deal. Let's give you last night's feature attraction. Steph Curry, NBA, had to wait out this game in street clothes. Game 2 maybe Tuesday at Oracle. Sit back and enjoy the show. Alley-oop. Kevin Durant brought it down. 21-point lead over the Pellies. Jay-Z, Beyonce loved it. Final minute of the half. Klay Thompson, little corner pocket three. 25-2 Warrior run destroyed New Orleans. Klay scored 27. End of the third. Durant for three. KD scored 26. Dubs led by 31. They won it 123-101. Wow. Hey, last night, always a show in Vegas, huh? NHL playoff game 2 with white-clad San Jose. Third period, Sharks up 1. Golden Knights, Nate Schmidt got the equalizer to send it into overtime. In overtime, Vegas' Jonathan Mershison scored, thought it was over. But goalie interference waved it off. They played on, and look at the no-look pass for Logan Couture to bring it on home. Sharkies in double overtime won it 4-3 and then tied up that series at a game apiece. Giants played 2 last night, and they gained a split of our friends from the South, the Los Angeles Dodgers. The A's blown out by the Astros 11-0. Cal Rugby, I'm going to give Rugby some love. Cal Rugby went out and beat Lindenwood of Missouri 43-22. Why significant? Because it gets them to the NCAA Division 1A National Championship game next Saturday in Santa Clara against Life University out of Georgia. Cal has won 33 national championships. They're on the verge of 34. That's enough. I'll see you later.